Welcome, my dear student. This is my 17th video lecture for you. In this video lecture, I am going to talk on structured and object-oriented design. Dear student, I am preparing this video lecture based on State Board of Technical Education syllabus for diploma student. So I am preparing the video of my subject software engineering. This is the 5th semester subject of computer science and engineering student as per the SBT syllabus. The subject code of software engineering is 1618504. 17th lecture, structured and object oriented design, belongs from 3rd unit of software engineering. The name of 3rd unit is software requirements analysis and design. Content of my today video lecture are concept of software design we are going to see. Then we will see the concept of structured design. In 3rd, I will explain about the function oriented design and its design process. And 4th, I will explain about the object oriented design and its concept. And finally, at 5th, I will explain the approaches of the software design. So these are the 5 topics I am going to be explained in this video lecture. I will explain here one by one. Please concentrate towards my video to understand more about the concept of software design, structured design, object-oriented design, function design, and approaches of the software design. As per the content of my video lecture, the first topic I am going to be explain software design. The concept of software design says that software design is a process to conceptualize the software requirement into software implementation. A software design is a process to conceptualize the software requirement into software implementation. The things which is written as a requirement can be implemented in a software. That is called software design. Second point says that software design takes the user requirement as a challenges and try to put and find optimum solution. So during the user requirement or the customer requirement, they gather all the requirement from the customer, and during the phase of the software design, it's a challenge, taking as a challenge to convert the user requirement into optimum solution. That means to give the solution for the user requirement. Third point says here, while the software is being conceptualized, a plan is chalked out to find the best possible design for implementing the intended solution. So once the software is conceptualized, that means understand, then plan is chalked out to find the best possible design for implementing the requirement of the user to give the proper solution. So that is the concept of the software design. There are multiple variants of the software design, but here I have given three: structure design, function design, and object oriented design. We will see this one by one. Now, structure design, it's a continued. Structure design is again conceptualization of the problem into several well organized elements of the solution. So structure design is conceptualization of the problem to understand clearly about the problem and finally well organized element of the solution. That is called structure design. It is basically concerned with the solution design. Structure design having more emphasis on the solution design to give the solution of the user requirement. The benefit of the structure design is it gives better understanding how the problem is being solved. So one of the benefit of the structure design means it gives the better understanding how the problem is being solved. Structure design also makes it simpler for designer to concentrate on the problem more accurately. So this design also helps the designer to concentrate more on the problem accurately. Structure design is mostly based on divide and conquer strategy. So structure design work on the principle called divide and conquer strategy. So these are the 5 basic important points under the structure design. So structure design is continued here. A good structure design has high cohesion and low coupling arrangement. Dear student, in my previous video lecture, I clearly explained about the concept of cohesion and coupling and their types. So here again in structure design it says that high cohesion and low coupling arrangement in the structure design. A good structure design always follow some rules for communication among multiple modules. So any good structure design, they have to follow some rules for communicating between the modules and what are the how they are going to be communicate among different modules. There are two ways, one is called cohesion, another one is called coupling. So these are the two ways the structure design allows to communicate among modules, multiple modules. So cohesion means grouping of all functionally related elements, and coupling means communication between different modules. So these are the two concepts in structure design used for communication among multiple modules, cohesion and coupling. Now we have function oriented design. In function oriented design, system is comprised of many smaller subsystems. That means in function oriented design, system is comprised or it's break into smaller subsystems known as functions. These functions are capable of performing significant tasks in the systems. So in function oriented design, systems are split or break into smaller subsystems known as functions, and these functions are capable of performing significant tasks in the system. Third point says here, the system is considered as top view of all functions. So this system is considered as top view of all functions. The function oriented design inherit some properties from the structured design. As we know that structured design work based on the principle called divide and conquer methodology. So function oriented design also, this functional modules can share information among themselves by means of information passing and using information available globally. So in function oriented design, they are able to pass the information and they able to allow to communicate among the modules. Last point says here, function oriented design works well where the system states does not matter and program or function work on input rather than on state. That means function oriented design work well with the such systems which work on input rather than follow the state. Design process of the function oriented design. So what are the design process? We have a 4. So the whole system is seen as how data flow in the system by means of data flow diagram. So the function oriented design using the concept of data flow diagram to design. So this data flow diagram explain how functions changes data and state of entire systems. Depicts means explain or elaborate or shows how function changes data and state of entire system. Third point says here, the entire system is locally broken down into a smaller unit known as function, as I told you, on the basis of their operation in the systems. So in functional oriented design, systems are broken down into smaller units known as functions, and on the basis of the functions and their operation in the systems, it's working. Last point of the design process, each function is then described at large. So these are the 4 design process of function oriented design. I hope my dear friends it's clear for you. Object oriented design, this is another design. Object oriented design work around the entities and their characteristics. So object oriented design having main focus on the entities and their characteristics instead of functions. In function oriented design, they are giving more emphasis on the functions, but object oriented design, they are giving more emphasis on the entities and their characteristics. Object oriented design strategies focus on entities and its characteristics. As I told you, in object oriented design, they are giving more emphasis or having more focus on the entities and their characteristics. But function oriented design, they are giving more emphasis and focus on the function itself. Third point, object oriented design says that the whole concept of the software solution revolves around the engaged entities. That means the whole concept of the software revolves around the engaged entities. So in object oriented design, everything is revolves around the entities itself. Concept of object oriented design. So what are the important concept comes under object oriented design? So first, objects. All entities involved in the solution design known as object. So entities means object. We are talking for the object. For example, person, banks, companies, customers are treated as object. So every entity has some attributes associated to it and has some method to perform on the attributes. So object क्या हमारा एक entities है all entities involved in the solution design known as object. So हमारा person, bank, company, customer, this all treated as an object, and every entity has some attributes that is associated with it. Second, we have class. A class is generalized description of an object. So class is a description of an object. An object is an instance of a class. So object क्या होता है? It's an instance of a class. Class defines all the attributes of the entities which an object can have, and methods which defines the functionality of the object. So class define all the attributes which an object can have, and class also define the methods which define the functionality of the object. Next, the concept of object oriented design, we have encapsulation. Encapsulation means binding the attributes or method together. Encapsulation not only bundles important information of an object together, but also restrict to access of the data and method from the outside world. So encapsulation does not allow to access the data or information from outside world, or encapsulation means to bind or to bundles important information on an object together. Next topic, we have inheritance. Inheritance allows similar classes to stack up in hierarchical manner, where the lower or subclass can import, implement and reuse allowed variable and method of their immediate upper classes. इसको मैं सिंपल वे में इस तरह से बता सकता हूं. इनहेरिटेंस मीन्स मेरे पापा का पापा जो मेरे दादा हुए, तो दादा के जो अंदर में जो गुण था वो पापा के अंदर में आया, और पापा के अंदर में जो गुण था वो मेरे अंदर में आया. तो वी आर कैरिंग द इनहेरिटी फ्रॉम one generation to the other generation. That means we are carrying the properties or characteristics from one object to the other object. So this make it easier to define a specific class and to create generalized classes from the specific ones. So these are the concept of the object oriented design. And the last, we have polymorphism. So polymorphism provides a mechanism where method performing similar tasks but vary in arguments can be assigned same name. It's a mechanism. Polymorphism is a mechanism where performing similar tasks but their arguments are different. Polymorphism allows a single interface to perform tasks of different types. A single interface performing different tasks of different types. Polymorphism also, depending upon how the function is invoked, respective portion of the code gets executed. So these are the important concepts of the object oriented design. So in this I have explained 5 basic concepts: object, class, then encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism. So 5 concepts I explained of object oriented design. I hope my dear student it's clear for you. Now design process of the object oriented design. So we have 4 points. A design process says that it's a solution design to created from requirement and previous use system. Second point says that objects are identified and grouped in classes on behalf of similarity attributes characteristics. So objects which are similar in nature are grouped together. Third point says that class hierarchy and relation among them is defined. That means we are going to hierarchy the class and put the relation among them. So this is how our object oriented design is working, and at last application framework is defined among the objects and classes. So these are the 4 points under design process of object oriented design. Now we have two approaches of the software design. The two generic approach for software designing are top down approach and bottom up approach. So top down design approach says that it takes the whole software system as one entity and then decompose it to achieve more than one subsystem or component based on the characteristics. So top down design, what they are doing, decomposing the whole software system to achieve more than one subsystem and component based on the characteristics. Other point under the top down design says that each subsystem or component is then treated as a system and decomposed further. That means such subsystems or component again decomposed to make it as a more simple. This process keep on running until the lowest level of the system in the top down hierarchy is achieved. That means in top down design we can decompose the system into subsystem and subsystem into again subsystem. This process will be continue until the lowest level of the system in the top down hierarchy is achieved. Fourth point says that top down design start with a generalized model of the system and keep on defining more specific part of it. So top down design start with generalized model, and then we are going to decompose the system into subsystem, again subsystem into again subsystem, and this will be continue at the lowest level of the software. And the last point says that top down design is more suitable when the software solution need to be designed from scratch and specific details are unknown. So this approach or this design is more suitable for the software which design from scratch or specific details are unknown. So these are the points under the top down design. Now we will see bottom up design. So bottom up design model start with most specific and basic component. So it will start from bottom to up, but starting with what most specific and basic component. First point, it proceed with composing higher level of component by using basic or lower level component. So it's starting with higher level of component by using lower level of component. Very good. Second point says that it keeps creating higher level of component until the desired system is not achieved as one single component. So it's starting from lower level to goes to the higher level until the software is or system is not achieved. So bottom up strategy is more suitable when a system need to be created from some existing system. So this type of a strategy is suitable for that system which created from some existing system where the basic primitives can be used in the newer systems. So these are the basic concept of bottom up and top down approach of the software design. I hope, my dear student, it's clear for you. So this is the summary. In this video lecture, I hope you clearly understood about the software design, and under the software design we have three types: structure design, function oriented design, object oriented design. And finally, I clearly explain about the approaches of the software design. This is the summary. Kindly just go through this book and go through this link to acquire more knowledge and equip yourself more in designing of the software in software engineering. Thank you, my dear students. Thank you for your patience, for listening my video and understanding. We will meet in the next upcoming video.